In the Taylor kitchen, again with me, is my husband Tim. I love to have Tim in the kitchen with me, and we are making a date night dinner, but not just any date night dinner. This is a Valentine's date night dinner, and we are going to do something so quick, simple, elegant. It's got to be elegant for Valentine's Day, right? And I'm going to use a sheet pan supper technique. Have you heard of this?
I have not.
So essentially everything gets cooked on a sheet pan in your oven. Not necessarily everything going in at the same time, but everything on the sheet pan. And thankfully everything I've selected here will cook in about the same time. I'm thinking about 15 minutes in my 400 oven.
Nice.
And we'll have everything ready. So I'm going to put you on grit duty. Let me tell you what this dinner is. This is going to be so good. This is an herb butter salmon, a prosciutto wrapped asparagus bundle, and what Tim is going to work on is a cheesy sun-dried tomato grit.
Sound
good?
Yeah.
All right, so you're on grit duty, and we're going to use microwave grits. And when you do something like this, and I'm going to add cheese and sun-dried tomatoes, you're not going to really know that they're microwave grits. And I like to use coconut milk for mine. It doesn't really give it a coconutty flavor, but it's got a really nice fat content, so it gives you that unctuousness that you would get from cream, but it's coconut milk. So honey, if you want to empty those 2 packets of microwave grits into this a little bit more than a cup, I've got like a cup and 2 tablespoons.
It would be my pleasure.
In here, and just stir those up with the fork so they're not clumpy. And then I would add those sun-dried tomatoes and a little splash of the oil from the sun-dried tomatoes is so flavorful. You don't ever want to waste that. So drizzle just a little bit, maybe like 2 teaspoons of this oil in there, and then probably a minute and 15 seconds in the microwave. And while he's doing that, I'm going to start on my herb butter. So I have a little bit of parsley here, and I have some rosemary and some thyme. And what I want to do is just chop this really finely. And this is going to make probably a little bit more herb butter than I need. And that's not necessarily a bad thing because this is good on everything. If you had bread with this meal and you wanted to dunk your bread in some melted herb butter, that would be really good. Thyme, you just pull it off the sprigs like this. It can be a little finicky, but no worries. It's very small. And just take your time and kind of run your nail down the thyme sprig like that and get all those little bits off. And I'm just going to take my big knife and chop my herbs very finely while Tim's stirring up his grits. Those look really good. Oh, that looks good. Microwave them first, and then we're going to add cheese, and then we're going to put them into our ramekins. I think it makes everything look really special when you put things in ramekins. It just makes for a really pretty presentation and tells the person that you're cooking for, you're special to me. All right, so those herbs are very finely chopped, and I have about 2 tablespoons of butter back here. And I'm just going to put my herbs into the butter. And darling, for the prosciutto, you want to just like peel that and cut that piece right in half.
Okay.
Do this, and I'm going to mix this up. And we're going to do some salmon. If you want to place this salmon on the sheet pan, oh, that looks really good. And then I'm just going to drizzle this with a little bit of the butter. I'm not going to get my spatula on the salmon because I want to be able to use this a little bit later. All right, I have my herb butter on my salmon, and the grits are out of the microwave.
All right.
And then, honey, about 2 big spoonfuls of that cheese. I'm using a smoked Gouda. Any nice melting cheese will do. Fontina, Gruyere, Boursin would be amazing. But a couple of spoonfuls of that in there, and then you just divide it into 2 ramekins. It might be too much for those 2 ramekins, but if there's a little left over, I'm sure we'll figure out how. Yeah, we'll figure out how to do that.
I'm a grit fan.
I like them too. And then I'm going to take my asparagus. I'm doing 4 asparagus stalks, and it kind of depends on the thickness of your asparagus. These are a decent size, but they're not too big, and they're not those pencil thin. You kind of have to be careful about how long they're going to cook. I'm going to place them seam side down on my pan once I've wrapped them in the prosciutto. Those are perfect. I want to leave you enough room for these ramekins to go in here too.
Right.
And then I'm going to drizzle a little bit more butter on my asparagus and my prosciutto. So we're going to have flavor everywhere. All these herbs, parsley, thyme, and rosemary.
Sounds like a band.
Oh, look at that. Or a song. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. A little salt on my asparagus bundles and some salt on my salmon. Oh yeah, you've got those topped with the cheese. This is so good.
Oh yeah, that's mine.
Oh, extra cheese on his, yeah. There we go. All right, these are really all going to cook about the same time. I would say 15 minutes in a 400 oven. It really depends on the thickness of your asparagus and the thickness of your salmon, so kind of watch it. But this is going to be 15 minutes on 400 degrees. Okay, now we're going to make what is referred to typically as a microwave mug cake. But we're going to make it in gorgeous little ramekins because it's Valentine's Day. It has to be special. And so I'm going to show you how to make a microwave mug cake. Chocolate, of course, because I love chocolate. I think you have to have it on Valentine's Day.
Sounds great, yes. Definitely.
So in here I have 3 tablespoons of flour. I'm using gluten-free flour. You can use an all-purpose flour. But honey, you're going to need to add a 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. And I'm going to add just a little pinch of salt. Always need salt. And then you're going to want a heaping tablespoon of that cocoa powder there. That's going to give it, yeah. That's going to give it the really good chocolatey flavor. And then here I have 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar. I like that because it's lower on the glycemic index. It has wonderful trace minerals and a fabulous flavor. It smells almost like toasted marshmallows.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That's one that fights diabetes. I need things on the lower
You're very
glycemic
welcome.
table. Yes.
So once you have all those dry ingredients mixed together, we're going to add the liquid ingredients. And so that's about a splash of vanilla. That would be a teaspoon. I don't measure vanilla very often because I love the flavor of it. And we're going to add 3 tablespoons of oil. This is grapeseed oil. I want a flavorless oil for this. 3 tablespoons. 2, 3. That gives us a nice moist cake. And then I also want, this is 3 tablespoons of coconut milk.
Very good.
And so just mix away. And here's the secret. I have these buttered ramekins, and in the bottom I put a cookie. This is like the surprise ingredient. It just kind of melds into everything else when you're making these. This is one of those thin chocolate chip cookies.
Is that a Chips Ahoy chocolate chip cookie?
It's a Chips Ahoy chocolate
yeah.
chip cookie. The thin variety. And so once
Not
that...
low on the glycemic index.
No, no, no. So once that's mixed well, then you're going to divide it into these 2 little ramekins. And this really just takes a minute in the microwave for those 2. We cook them both at the same time, a minute in the microwave, and you get the most beautiful chocolate cake. And you're going to have a little surprise chocolate, oozy-goozy, lava kind of center. Good job. And then I'm just going to take chocolate chips and just a pinch, really, and right in the middle, and right in the middle of this one. So that way, when they microwave, the chocolate gets really oozy-goozy, and so when you take it out of there, you have that nice chocolate bite in the middle. So these are going to go in my microwave for 1 minute after we're done eating our dinner. These look tremendous. Look how those grits, those cheesy grits, look so amazing.
Awesome.
I'm going to take a little bit of this leftover herb butter and just drizzle a bit more on our salmon because it's so good.
It's herb butter.
It's herb butter, yeah. Amazing stuff. And I'll give 1 for you
Nice.
and 1 for me. All right, then an asparagus bundle for you, wrapped in prosciutto, and 1 for me.
My weapons.
And these are my grandmother's plates. They have these beautiful little pink flowers around the rim, so I thought they looked a little Valentine-ish.
Yes.
You handle all that?
Very pretty.
Very pretty they are. And look at these chocolate mug cakes. They came out so nicely. You can put ice cream on this, whipped cream. I have a few raspberries for us.
Very nice.
We won't start with dessert this time, even though I think I've been known to do that. Go ahead, let me know
Let's
what
see
you
how
think.
the salmon is.
That salmon is perfectly cooked.
It is perfectly cooked.
It's beautiful.
Very tasty.
Yes, those grits, those are going to be hot.
Woo! Got that cheese cap on there.
Mm-hmm. Woo.
Mm,
Nice.
I like it.
I think we need to take these and sit down. We have our wine poured.
Sounds
We need
great.
to light some candles and enjoy our cake and enjoy our salmon. We'll enjoy that first, and then we'll enjoy our cake.
Sounds good.
All right, let's go dine,
Will do.
Valentine style.
Happy Valentine.
Happy Valentine. Hey friends, thanks so much for watching Taylor Kitchen. For recipes and a whole lot more,
Go to taylorkitchen.net. We'll see you there.
thanks again.